Wow. We need to talk about the 700-point rise in the Dow from Friday. Quite impressive. Let's talk about what really broke the housing market. And of course, let's talk about the week ahead. But first, we need to talk about a 15% tax coming to Airbnb. Folks, if you live in the great state of California and you have short-term rentals, please do yourself a favor and read SB 584. This apparently is a new rule going in place that will add a 15% tax to short-term rentals. And near as I can tell, it comes off gross, not off net. So will this cause more operators to leave the business and switch to midterm? Will this cause people just to raise rents or nightly fees? Will it be just another line item on the checkout? I don't know, but a 15% tax is coming. And of course, that is going to fund affordable housing. Don't know if you saw this, but it looks like California doesn't want to charge operators of utility based on usage. They would rather go in and figure out your income and charge you based on income. Yes, California appears to be rolling out not a fee on utilities based on usage, but based on your income. I found that that was interesting. And I will admit, the first time I read it, I thought it was fake news. I mean, really? We're doing this now? But apparently we are. Student loans appear to be restarting. I think they're going to start at the end or beginning of September. They've been on hold for 3 years. I think student housing restarting is basically another deflationary action. It will reduce discretionary spending, and it will help the Fed rein in inflation. Larry Summers is at it again, except this time he is talking about interest rates going even higher. Interest rates going even higher than they are now. Obviously, I disagree. But again, Larry Summers has been there, done that, far more experienced and knowledgeable. Not only are rates going higher in Larry Summers' mind, but he also thinks taxes are going to go up significantly. And I have to agree with that last one. I suspect that one of the ways we kind of bring down this crazy level of debt is raising taxes. I know it is fun to talk about taxing the wealthy, but as I've unfortunately told many folks, it will end up rolling to the middle class, and it will not be a lot of fun. Larry Summers actually says they should maybe pause in June, but go 50 basis points in July, which is quite a bit. I don't see that coming. I wanted to talk about getting wealthy. I know I've talked about getting wealthy on this channel. It's a very simple 3-step process. I've also put a clock on it on 10 years. Let me first talk about what I'm trying to do with this getting wealthy, right? Create dry powder, become elite, do all of that for 10 years, is I want you to see it's possible. I think first, let me define what I think wealthy is, because it's not a number. It's not an income. It's not a balance sheet. It is frankly passive or semi-passive income greater than your expenses. So if you are a 19-year-old that can live on $2,000 a month, you could be wealthy with $3,000. If you are a single 25-year-old and you need $4,500, you could be wealthy at $6,000. It is something above your required monthly expenses. I like to use 2x. You can use whatever number you would like. So again, that's what I consider wealthy. You can set up your own definition, but that is what I am leading with. And then let's talk about 10 years. I needed to put a clock on it. I wanted people to know that it takes time. Can some people do it less than 10 years? Absolutely. The smaller your monthly nut, if you're a 19-year-old with $2,000, you can get that done a lot faster. If you are a 30-year-old like I was, living in an expensive part of the world like I was, you had a growing family like I had, it's going to take more time. I did not feel wealthy, even though I talk about 10 years. It took me 15. I just had to get over it. One of the things, again, if you go to my website, onerentalatatime.com, there's a square that says product reviews or product recommendations, something like that. If you scroll down, you will see the game Cash Flow. If you haven't bought that game yet, and you can, I would buy it. I know it's a little more expensive, but I want you to buy it. Or if you already own it, take this challenge on. I suggest you play the Cash Flow game where every person's a doctor. And then you play the Cash Flow game where everybody's a teacher. I promise you, you get out of the game faster as a teacher than a doctor. That's just how it works. And again, I have played that game hundreds and hundreds of times. So let's talk about the Dow going up 700 points and the VIX being a teenager, right? The VIX came in at 14.6. We will undoubtedly talk to Dan Bird today. I look forward to his thoughts. Obviously, he is looking pretty good on his call with the market going up to 4,300 is that stomping ground. So shout out to him. The Russell 2000 was up 3.5%. So maybe we're seeing the broadening out of the market. This is not my thing, but we will certainly be talking to Dan Bird later in the day. So what do I mean by the Fed broke housing? I know a lot of people are looking at the market today and saying the housing is broken. They're agreeing with me. But I want to be very, very clear. The housing market was broken 3 years ago. I believe when the Fed kept rates low for that second year, it was unneeded. When the Fed kept buying mortgage-backed securities, it was unneeded. It was that last year where more and more people bought and more people refied. That was the problem. We were coming out of it. People were feeling better. And again, I have receipts on this channel. I did not do any refinances that first year, but I did a lot that second year. And again, the second year was the problem. That is when the market was frozen. That is when everybody has rates below 3. That was when the market in the animal spirits were running and the Fed broke housing. The market's been broken for 3 years and it will be broken for 2 or 3 years more. And then finally, what's coming up this week? Because again, the big talk will be next week when we get the CPI number. We do get factory orders on Monday. We get consumer credit on Wednesday. And of course, we will get initial jobless claims on Thursday. Folks, like, subscribe, comment. Do me a favor, go check out my brand new website that celebrates all the millionaire contributors to One Rental at a Time. You can see some family photos, the history, product recommendations. And of course, if you want to get the 50-year spreadsheet or the 50-year spreadsheet, you can now get it right on the website. So again, I'm trying to make it easier for you. Thank you. I spent a bunch of money on the website. Let me know what you think. Bye.